Hey everybody, MntDewMania's here, and welcome back to my Redneck Rant, and I'm watching the sunrise, and I'm fishing, and I've got cooked mutton. Oh, how you guys doing? I'm doing peachy. I'm absolutely, I hate to say this, but I'm absolutely glad Christmas is over, because people this time of year can absolutely get obnoxious. And speaking of, that is what my rant is about today. O is for obnoxiousness. That was my husband's suggestion, so a big shout out to hubby for suggesting obnoxiousness. Now, I did look up obnoxious, of course, and the definition is annoying or objectionable due to being a show-off or attracting undue attention to oneself. Highly offensive or odious. I don't think I would want to know anybody that's odious. That sounds kind of offensive, doesn't it? So I went to look for some quotes to go along with obnoxious. And the ones mostly that I found, they weren't about obnoxious things or sights or smells or sounds or anything. They were mostly about people. So, I take that as a sign that people find other people the most obnoxious. Now, in your mind, do a mental list of people you know. And think about all the rants that we've done from A now here to O. Go back and look at some of the words that we used and see if you in your mental list can picture somebody you know that fits the letter. Because I kind of do that as I go along. When I pick a word or somebody suggests a word to me that grabs my attention, I immediately can picture someone in my head that fits the bill, so to speak. Okay? And I'm sure you all do that too, because every time you read one of these, I can almost picture you guys sitting there going, oh yeah, so-and-so, yep, Fred, yeah, that fits Fred to a T. I can just picture you guys doing that. But some of the quotes I found, it is obvious that when the people wrote the quote, they had a person in mind, not just a general people, but a person. Because I found quotes like from Zig Ziglar. He was a big self-help kind of person, I think, or something. Every obnoxious act is a cry for help. Now, I'm not sure I agree with that, because I can think of a couple of people I know, and just their behavior in general, their whole mindset is just so obnoxious. They can't be crying for help, but if they are, then they are going about it the wrong way. They would probably have a much better result if they sat down and said, look, I'm just a horrible, awful person. Can you please help me? Instead of being the rude, obnoxious people that they are. Now, you notice I said rude and obnoxious. There is a fine line between rude and obnoxious. I can be a rude, sarcastic, hateful bitch. I know this about myself. But I don't think, I have probably bordered on being obnoxious every now and then. I don't know if I've ever kind of dipped my toe in the other pond, so to speak. But I think I've come close. So, I mean, if we're going to be, remember we talked about honesty. So if we're going to be honest, I'm going to be honest about myself first. I think I've come pretty close. And I think everybody knows that person who is just totally obnoxious. You can't stand to be in the room. They could be the most beautiful person, dressed to the nines. I mean, mall this and designer tag that, and they drove up in a car that costs more than your house, and they are the most obnoxious person on the planet. And your only wish is for them to catch on fire and burn to death right in front of you so you could cheer. Or throw gasoline on them, one or the other. So, it's just funny. I mean, because I can think of obnoxious smells. I'm sure you can. I could think of, obnoxious things. But just like you, when I hear the word obnoxious, I immediately think of a couple of people I know. And I guess we're just human. I mean, remember we talked about judging, so there you go. We're all guilty. But somebody said, I think it was maybe Ulysses S. Grant that said, now he talked about like laws, obnoxious laws, just totally stupid, obnoxious laws that he said, I know no method to secure the repeal of bad or obnoxious laws so effective as their stringent extinction. Now, yeah, I mean, back in his day, I'm sure that there were quite a few. I can think of a couple now. That's about the only one that I found that was outside of the scope of people. That was just about the only one. Everybody else, it was plain to see that they had somebody in mind when they said the word obnoxious. Come up with a quote, and apparently 99.99% of the planet thinks of a person first. So, one of the other quotes I found was, isn't it sad how some people can't be funny, so they settle for being obnoxious? Well, I tell you what, 99.998% of them are YouTubers. Or vloggers. Or they're in social media somewhere. And I'm sure you've run across them, because I can think of several. Because I want to just find them and burn their computer down. My God, how do some of these people get, they should be shot or banned, or is there some kind of, something we can, is there a screening process? Is there something? I am all for creativity and free speech, and, I hate censorship, but my God, there are just some people, why? Why do they have fans? Why do they have thousands and thousands and thousands of people that even go to their channel, or they're just obnoxious? The human species would be better off if they just, I hate to, say that about somebody, but it's the truth. And, I wouldn't, if I said anything else, I would be lying, there's this one guy I know, God, I will not say any names, and he's nice, but he is the biggest know-it-all on this planet. There is not a subject on the face of this earth that he is not an expert about. And it gets to the point where I have to physically sit on my hands when I am around him so I do not throttle him just to shut him up. I get punched in the ribs by members of my family, and I know they're warning me, keep your mouth shut. Because if you've learned anything from me on these little rants of mine, when I get going on something, it's hard to shut me up. Because I am very opinionated. And good God. So, yeah, and sometimes I don't think people realize they do it, but sometimes they do. Sometimes they know that they're just nasty and obnoxious and just, Why would you want to be that way and be so obnoxious to know that when people get around you, they cringe and try to melt so they can slide under a door to get away from you. When somebody thinks to themselves, I would rather catch on fire and be doused with gasoline as to stand in the same room with this person, you might want to consider some life changes. You know what I'm saying? So, and oh my God, it's just I'm sometimes I'm just speechless at some of these people. I mean, I don't understand. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. But some people, I just don't understand why they are. You know, I mean, did they have a horrible? And some of the people, their backstory. I mean, they didn't. They didn't have a horrible life. I could understand if they did and they were taking it out on the rest of the world. At least that would make sense. You know. So, but let me finish. Let me finish this little rant off with probably the best one that I found, and it applies to. It's fairly modern, I think, so you'll understand why I like it so much. And I can see heads nodding as I say this. Life would be much easier if I could mark all the obnoxious people I know as spam. How many? Yeah, you check it off the list, ain't you? Yep, click, click, check, check. There they go. I see it. I'm doing the same thing. So, there we go, guys. Obnoxiousness. You know, I would like to say that I sat here and thought of like obnoxious smells, like a dead skunk in the middle of summer under a wool blanket, or obnoxious sight like that dead skunk under the blanket. But I didn't. I thought of one person who absolutely makes my skin crawl just to be around. And that does it make me horrible? Probably. Does it make me human? Absolutely. So there you go, guys. O is for obnoxiousness. And yeah, do the mental list. I did. Until next time, guys, this is MntDewMania, live from Vox Populi. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you have a safe and wonderful holiday coming up. Be careful. And until next time, I'm so out of here. Later, guys.